I think it can be safely said that some of us handle new experiences better than others. Today I want to share with you guys 5 tips on how to maintain happiness during times of change. Now, in putting this together, I asked myself, what is it about new experiences that makes it so difficult, and what is it about change that makes it so hard? And I came up with 3 reasons. The first is that change thrusts us into the unknown. It forces us to confront things that we haven't before. It takes us out of our routine, out of our lifestyle, what we know and what we're familiar with. The second reason is that change makes us uncomfortable. When you develop familiarity and you've been doing the same thing over and over again, or you're going through your daily existence and you have those things around you that you are familiar with, you become comfortable with those. And when those are gone, it interjects that element of unknown again, and discomfort arises. So already it's difficult in terms of unknown and discomfort. And the third reason is because change really takes away control. We no longer have as much control over our surroundings and our environment and in shaping our daily lives is what we're used to. So when change takes away that control, it causes us to feel somewhat helpless. And even if that's not a conscious thought, in the back of our mind, we're feeling a little bit threatened because our control is no longer there. So tip number 1, assess what you need and prioritize those needs. When you say move, for example, you come to a completely new location or somewhere that you haven't been before. What is it that you need to get through your day? What do you need to survive? With assessing needs, start with the fundamentals and work your way up. Do you need clothing? Do you need shelter? Do you need food? How do you provide those for yourself? Figure that out. Where's the grocery store? Where can you stay? Whose couch can you surf on? What house are you going to live in? Who can you rent from? So after you've got the basics figured out, then start working your way up that sort of hierarchy of needs and figuring out what else you need to make your life as ideal as possible, but aren't quite as critical or severe as food, clothing, shelter. So for example, let's say you know where you're going to live. Do you have a closet to store your work clothes in so they don't get wrinkled? What hobbies can you pursue? What activities are there to do in your new area? Things like that. What can you take for enjoyment? And just keep working your way up and identifying what it is that you need. Now, in my case, Erica and I moved out from Michigan. I had to completely rethink my entire work strategy. I was commuting to Portland every month. This was before the whole shutdown. I realized that I was no longer headed down a path of being in office. So when we moved out to Oregon, I had to revise my entire work existence and my career to be completely remote. Now, for me, that looked like changing my career from being an in-office type of person to sort of a remote worker, doing more consulting, working with this YouTube channel, taking more time for myself. I was able to sort of identify my career needs. I already had the food, the shelter, the clothing, all that figured out. Then it became occupational for me. What am I going to do for my occupation? Now that I've got all of that under control, my days are great. I get to wake up. I take puppies outside every day. When I go to work, I'm looking through the window at a beautiful field full of horses, mama and baby horses. I couldn't ask for anything more. It's absolutely amazing. My entire existence has been redefined because I went through this need assessment. What do I need to do? I need to change career, and that was the biggest thing for me. And after that, everything else just fell in place. Tip number 2, focus on what you can control and try to let go of the things you can't. When you move, your locus of control is going to be very small. Your sphere of influence is going to be very reduced compared to what you're used to. You won't be able to control as much in your life, and that's okay. Just focus on what you can. Then, as you go along, you'll be able to expand that sphere of control. You'll figure out the most efficient route to work. You'll figure out where your favorite restaurant is, and you'll be able to control what you do on a daily basis, and that control will grow and over time, more and more and more. Then after you've figured it out, you'll become more comfortable in your surroundings after you get more things kind of taken care of. Now, in my case, there wasn't a whole lot I can control. I'm on a working horse ranch right now. And what I could control was when I take the dogs out, when I get to use the dogs as a work break, when I get to go wander outside and just take a look at the surroundings and the goings on, what I get to experience on my lunch hour or after work. And I got to control my free time, and I got to control hobbies. I picked up some hobbies I haven't had for a while and some pursuits that I really enjoy, such as photography. I've upped my Insta game, and I've taken a lot of pictures of things that I've just seen around the ranch that are just absolutely fascinating to me. So in controlling my own pursuits, my own interests, that has helped me sort of create my own bubble, my own sphere of what I like to do. So for me, it was the little things, controlling just the little things that I enjoyed doing to reestablish or kind of maintain happiness. And I love the puppies. I love our little dogs. I love taking pictures of those things around the ranch. And I'll post my Instagram feed in the comments if you want to see what some of the details are like on a working horse ranch. It's kind of interesting, actually, especially when it comes to the tack they use here. The intricate craftsmanship, the leatherwork is absolutely amazing. Tip number 3, be persistent. If you don't quit, you win. Whatever happened that brought you to the point of change, whether it was voluntary or involuntary, you're working towards something, whether that's a goal or another life change or just pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. You're moving in a direction. Now, if this is a wanted direction, don't quit. Keep going. It may take a lot of hard work, but realize that persistence pays off. Hardly anything comes without a lot of hard work. So if you can just get up every day and put one foot in front of the other and just keep stepping along through your daily routine, you'll reach your goals. If you're somewhere where you don't want to be, realize that every day that you get up and you work towards getting yourself out of that situation, eventually you will be. Nothing lasts forever. And after you're more comfortable or somewhere where you want to be, you'll look back and the period that you're going through now, it'll lose its effect. Time will smooth it over. It'll take the sharpness out of it. Also, when you're working towards goals, they can come unexpectedly and at any time and in any order. Eric and I have always had a goal of owning horses someday. If we hadn't been persistent in our efforts, we never would have come to Medford, worked on my sister's horse ranch, stayed here for 2 months, and while we were here, we met 2 absolutely wonderful horses, Shuli and Cookie. It looks like Cookie's going to be Erica's while Shuli's going to be mine, and they're magnificent. They're such sweet critters. And if we had not come down here and lived and worked in Medford, we never would have gotten the chance to know them as well, and we wouldn't have been able to make such an informed decision. We really know their personalities. We know their temperaments. We've ridden them day after day. We know exactly what they're like. There's no surprises, no problems under the hood that we're not aware of. And so if we hadn't been here in this situation, we just never would have been able to get to know them as well as we have. And that's just such an amazing benefit for us. So be persistent. Don't give up. And along the way, good things will happen. Okay, now tips 4 and 5 have to do with mental reframing, taking a look at change through a different lens, applying different filters to your situation to sort of help calm down the inner struggle, the inner turmoil that may be going on. While tips 1 through 3 have been more sort of like physical changes, this has to do with your own internal processing. So tip 4, set a time limit. Now, this can be just any amount of time in the future where you're going to say to yourself, okay, if it doesn't work out, if what I'm doing where I am doesn't work out in a day, a week, a month, or a decade, I'm going to make a change. And you don't even have to know exactly what the details of that change is, make another change, but just set some sort of time limit so you have something out there, a set point in the future to take a look at it, a known quantity of experience or a known quantity of time that you're going to set here. Tip number 5, and I've talked about this before, but it's extremely helpful for so many things. Repeat the following mantra. And this mantra is, I will be okay no matter what. This is an emotional and mental antidote to anxiety. It really is. And the nice thing about it is the more you use it, the stronger and more powerful it becomes. You'll say it for the first couple days or first week and you'll think, oh, that doesn't do anything. But if you repeat it every day or every other day or over a certain amount of time, you'll find that when you do start to say it, you'll instantly feel better. It's absolutely amazing. And it is nothing more than pure training of your brain, training of your mind to let go of that stress and to sort of adopt a different outlook on what it is that you're going through. And I promise you, if you use this, I guarantee at some point in the future, you'll say to yourself, I'll be okay no matter what. And you'll instantly start to feel a lessening of the load that's on you. It just works. It does. And you can't wear it out. As a caveat, don't try to overanalyze it. Don't try to figure out why you'll be okay no matter what. Just say it to yourself. That's all you have to do. It's really simple and very easy. And the more you use it and the faster you use it, the more powerful it becomes. So please, just pick it up and start saying it any time that you're not feeling well, or even when you are feeling well, saying I'll be okay no matter what. And it's going to have a big effect. I promise. Okay, I know I said there was going to be 5 tips, but I've actually got 7 tips. There's 2 more bonus tips that I thought of while I was putting this together. Tip number 6, fill your life up with things that you enjoy. Distract yourself as much as possible. Engage in hobbies that you enjoyed, any sort of pastime that you like, and it's okay. It doesn't matter what you're doing or how much of you're doing. You need to fill yourself up with enjoyment and happiness by doing things that you love. And try not to feel guilty if you're taking a reasonable amount of time away from work or the pursuit of your passions. Just really focus on that relief that comes with doing something that you like. And that's very, very important, because without any sort of rest or relaxation, you're going to get burnt out. It's just going to happen. You can't always be working or always be doing something that takes effort and takes willpower. Willpower is finite. There's only so much of it to go around. You can only push yourself so far, then you're going to collapse. And you restore that willpower, you get your drive back by doing something you enjoy. And playtime is fine. Just, you may have to do it more at first, and you may feel guilty for taking that much time off, but that's okay. Eventually that need to do it will die away, and you'll transition back into heading down that path that you want to go on, back to work, back to pursuing your goals, back to pursuing your passions. It's a natural transition, and it may be front loaded with taking more time off for entertainment, hobbies, whatever at first. For myself, while Eric and I were down here in Southern Oregon and I was working out of the cabin, we actually went paddleboarding somewhere that I've never been before. We went to Lake of the Woods with my sister and her husband and my niece and my nephew. We each had our own paddleboard. We started off on the north side of the lake and we paddled over to the south side of the lake. We found a wonderful wooden raft, a wonderful floating raft to play on. The kids had a great time, and it was absolutely amazing. The water was brisk, but it wasn't too cold. I fell in a couple times on purpose, and maybe once by accident. I can't remember. The details are sketchy, but it was gorgeous. There were trees around the lake. There was Mount McLaughlin off in the distance. I hadn't had that much fun in a long time, and it came from a very unexpected angle. I wasn't expecting to enjoy myself that much. My sister just said, hey, let's go paddleboarding. And I said, where? She said, Lake of the Woods. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So we drove up there, and it was a fantastic experience. Absolutely loved it. And the next day, in fact, the next week, I felt very, very driven. I felt like I'd taken some time off. I sort of recharged my batteries, and I was ready to go again. Another thing we did is we all took a jet boat ride. They served us mimosas. We had eggs, bacon, sausage, biscuits, and gravy. It was a really good brunch. We had a wonderful time. It was just so much fun. So go out and try different things. Try things you may not think of or things that you haven't done in a long time, and just see what you can make of it. The experience will most likely be a lot better than what you're envisioning in your head. We can never really imagine how good reality is. ride, do something fun, go paddleboarding. Just break out of the mold and try something new. It's amazing. Tip number 7, leave yourself open to enjoy the moment, experience the moment, live right here, right now. So what I mean by this is, at least for me, I tend to get caught up in my head, think about things all the time, get distracted with my thoughts, and not really be present when I'm facing some sort of challenge or when I'm goal-driven or working towards something. And what that does is that causes me to miss a lot of wonderful things that happen in life. So I strongly encourage you to stay grounded in the moment and experience what's going on around you. Just notice the little things. Notice what's happening around you. Here on my sister's ranch, I've taken a few moments to fly my drone, and I've seen some wonderful countryside. I've looked around at the mountains. I've seen my brother train horses and ride them every day. My brother-in-law, John, I've seen him train horses every day, and it's something I've never seen before. I've seen mama and baby horses out playing in the field. I've experienced beautiful sunsets and sunrises. I've had a great time walking my little pups around, playing with my dogs, and watching them grow up. They've probably gained about 15 pounds and 3 inches in every direction since we've been here. It's been wonderful watching them grow. I never thought something like this would happen. And all I've had to do is simply just embrace the moment, set myself up, get my occupation under control, just get myself ready to keep moving forward. And then everything else has unrolled in front of me. I've had so many amazing experiences. I never thought this would happen. Well, hey, thank you for joining me for these 5+2 tips on how to stay happy during times of change. If you could do me a huge favor, please hit the subscribe button and the notifications button down there. And if you're feeling so generous, the thumbs up or the like, whatever you have, because that really helps me out. It helps this channel grow. But more importantly, it gives me direction on what you guys want to see, on what you want to hear. So it's your way of giving me feedback on how I could be doing things differently, better, more or less, whatever. But I really do appreciate that because I'm able to track the subscription, the like buttons per video to see trends. So please hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell button, all of that. Thanks, guys, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.